Hello, property nomads. A massive, massive win for nuclear. Really, really happy with this. And it's almost like an honor, a joy, and a privilege to be able to share this with you. Why? Because all these eco people that want more wind, want more solar, want the country to be greener, and yet they don't really like the idea of one of the greenest and cleanest energy producing methods available. It never ceases to amaze me, and I'm glad that the court has dismissed the environmental challenge here. But let's go to Zero Hedge. Let's have a look at this article. Apologies if you get loads of different adverts come up. It is Zero Hedge. That's part and parcel of the website. So yeah, court dismisses environmental challenge to UK nuclear plant approval. So UK court on Thursday dismissed an appeal by an environmental group against Sizewell C, which is a massive nuclear project in Suffolk, over in the east part of England, ruling that the government's go-ahead to project was in line with the law. In the autumn budget statement last November, Chancellor Jeremy Hunt reiterated plans of good old Bojo, Boris Johnson's previous plan to back nuclear power generation as a means to help the country generate cleaner energy and reach net zero by 2050. Again, I don't think no one's reaching net zero by 2050, but hey ho. The thing that I like about this is that, as we've set ourselves these targets, what people need to realize, and whether you're pro-nuclear, anti-nuclear, pro-energy, pro-climate change, whatever it is, you've got to realize a couple of things. Number one, your baseload energy is predominantly coal and like gas, oil, etc. There's your baseload energy. Now, what the baseload energy does is it then helps to supplement things like your wind energy, solar energy, and so forth. In order to change, you can have as much solar and as much wind as you want. But if the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing, you're not going to be producing as much. So it can come in spits and spurts, basically. So you need a good baseload energy moving forward. What is good baseload energy? Well, again, coal, gas, etc. But we're totally against this as the West now, so we've got to change that. So the answer is nuclear. Now I know there's been incidents over the years, and some people like it, some people loathe it. The thing is, if you're going to go to a greener, cleaner environment, you need to have good baseload energy. Nuclear is the answer. That is what it is. What doesn't cease to amaze me is that the same people that want a greener, cleaner environment, etc., seem to not like nuclear or put in issues like the Suffolk Coastal Friends of the Earth did last year. Rachel Fulcher of that organisation said, "Our members remain appalled that potential risks to Suffolk's wildlife and damage to their special habitats have not been taken into account despite warnings from Natural England." At the end of the day, you're never going to win. Okay, someone's going to lose out. Some people are going to win. You've got to look at what this nuclear energy plant can do. So it's going to be built by EDF, which is France's nuclear power giant. And the plant called Sizewell C is expected to meet about 7% of the UK's energy needs for at least 60 years. Now, that's pretty decent. It's designed to be a 3.2 gigawatt power station generating low carbon electricity for around about 6 million UK homes. So by replacing fossil fuel power, which is what we've just discussed with base energy, the new nuclear plant in Suffolk is expected to avoid around 9 million tonnes of carbon emissions each year. So this massive drive to become carbon neutral, net zero, etc., I personally don't think it's achievable because there's too many people kicking up a fuss about, well, we don't want to build this here, we can't build this here, and blah, 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 blah. Whinge without providing a solution. Nuclear is your solution. And this would have been catastrophic if the court turned around and agreed with the Suffolk Coastal Friends Group. They haven't, which means that the plant can go ahead because it's in line with the country's energy policy as previously outlined by Boris Johnson. Judge Holgate, who presided over the case, said the legal challenge is an attempt to rewrite the government's policy aims by pretending that the central policy objective is, a few dots there, to produce clean energy without any regard to diversity of energy sources and security of supply. Nuclear plants are going to need to be built, whether we like it or not. I like it personally. These eco people are probably not going to like it. And at the end of the day, you're never going to please everyone. Now, the challenge that I see in this country is we always get into this analysis paralysis stage where we spend so many years talking, nothing gets done. Glad that something's actually going to get done because as a country, we need it. So to Suffolk coastal friends of the earth, apologies, I understand there's going to be some wildlife damage and habitat destruction to various creatures and people potentially as well. I apologize for that. I really do. But let's look at the bigger picture for the country. This is going to make the country more sustainable moving forward in terms of being able to generate its own electricity. We need more plants like this, basically. To Judge Holgate, thank you. You've made a great call, and it's a massive win for nuclear in the UK, and it really, really is. So very excited to report back on that. As usual, if you're on YouTube, like us on YouTube, use that bell notification thing below, and share this message with as many people as you can. The world is transitioning. We need to transition, and we really should be looking at being in a situation of being pro-nuclear, purely because that's going to provide us the base load energy that we need in order to then be able to work with and supplement solar, wind, and other forms of energy. Like us on YouTube, share us on YouTube, subscribe to the notifications button thingy, and see you in the next video.